Hey there, crew. How's everybody doing today? Can you hear me? Matt Vassallo here with the Rhinestone World. Awesome, awesome. Good to see all of you. Seeing some familiar names from the webinar we just finished. Very cool. So how many of you here were in the Designer Edition webinar that we just did? Were many of you here in that one? Got a few of you. Awesome. Now, how many of you here came to the webinar today to learn how to create a design like we have right here with the rhinestones and the heat transfer vinyl with kind of the punch-out design? Or how many of you came just to see what the Black Friday and Cyber Monday's deals were going to be? Awesome. I like it. Most of you are saying came for both. Always come to learn. Very cool. So I was getting a lot of questions. I posted this image here up on our Facebook page this past weekend. My daughter was down in Fort Myers here in Florida at the state gymnastics competition. I wanted to create a cool looking design that was something new for the gym that myself, my wife, and my son could all wear to the gym because we knew it was going to be a great place for advertising as well. So this is the design that I created for my wife right here. So I did the normal punch-out type design for myself and my son, where it had a different gymnast in it, and it didn't have, obviously, the rhinestones. We used the silver lens electric and the Columbia blue electric, so gave a real cool color. Then we created this one here that is in our aqua glitter with our silver glitter, but we added stones around it as well, just to add an extra effect to these awesome looking designs that all of you guys are creating on the Facebook pages right now. So what we wanted to do is have a paid webinar like this that is going to go over those awesome features. As all of you know, with the different paid webinars that we have, is that any of the designs that we create in the webinar, we will actually get for you all for free. So we'll definitely get the files to you that we create in the webinar here that you can use for your use to sell to your customers. Obviously, our main goal is to teach you how to create the designs yourself so you can create them for your customers and customize everything. And then at the end of the webinar here, we'll go over the designs. It will probably take about 45 minutes or so. And then the last 10 or 15 minutes, those of you that want to hang around, will introduce the Black Friday and Cyber Monday TRW specials that are going to be coming up here tomorrow at midnight, or actually Friday at midnight, okay? So real quickly, just to get an idea in here, and we aren't going to use those features in the webinar here today anyway, but how many of you currently have the newest 2.12 version of the TRW Stone Wizard? Does everybody in here, has everybody upgraded to the 2.12? So those of you that have not upgraded yet, as long as you have the version 2, so as long as you have upgraded to the TRW Stone Wizard 2.0, we had a 2.06 update that was free, a 2.1 update, a 2.11 update, and a 2.12 update. So you're about 4 updates behind if you just have the 2.0. But great thing is they're all free updates. So all you need to do is go to your order history on our website, and there'll actually be a new file for you to download there to get the 2.12, okay? So again, it's free. Just go to your order history and your order number where you ordered the wizard or the upgrade for the 2.0, and you will see the update that you have for the 2.12. Michelle, there are no changes right now for the 2.12 that you downloaded last week. It's the exact same. So if you got the 2.12 as one of the testers, that's the same file. So you're good to go. All right, so who wants to learn how to create some cool looking designs here? So again, the design we're going to work on here is the one like this right here, where we're going to add a perfect row of rhinestones throughout this design to make it look awesome, basically. So the two designs we're going to do, Thomas is going to love us. We got a wrestler for a wrestling design. You're welcome, buddy. And we have a karate guy here as well. So two kind of different ones that we don't normally do. I know we have a lot of wrestling fans out there, and there's a lot, I know we do a lot of business with the different dojos or karate places around the area. So another cool one that we can do with the stones right here. So let's go ahead and get started on a design like this. So what I first want to do is I want to show you how to create the original design that everybody's creating in the Wizard and Corel Draw, and then show you what the difference is like if you were to actually do it with the rhinestones and the different steps. As far as the gymnastics ones, Cindy, you're going to know exactly how to do them. So that's my goal. My goal is with basic designs like this, I would rather teach all of you how to do it so you can save money and actually create the design yourself pretty easy. And we're going to get you a recorded version of this webinar as well. Then that way you don't necessarily have to go to the website to purchase it. So my goal is that you know how to create this design, and then you can bring in any image, whether it's a swimmer or a wrestler or gymnast or whatever it is, to bring in and be able to actually do it yourself, okay? All right, so, oh, the silhouette of the gymnast, yes, we have all the different silhouettes on the website, Cindy, that's correct. Sorry. Yep, those are all on the website. So let's go ahead and get started on one of these designs. So I'm going to walk you through how to do the first one. And then, like all of you guys know, I like to have you guys interact with the different webinars. So you're paying attention and you're learning everything as I'm going through it. And that way you guys can direct me with the steps how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to go through the first one and show you guys an idea of just doing, let's just do the wrestling one here. So we're going to do the first one without rhinestones, just to give you an idea of how the process works, which what we'll do is we'll do a wrestling dad design for this one since we're doing it without rhinestones. That sound good to everybody? I'm sure we'll be able to sell a wrestling dad design, right? So what I'm going to do in Corel Draw, I'm just going to click on my text tool over here and click on my main area. I have my caps lock on, and I'm going to type out wrestling. Now, how many of you know which font we normally use with this? Which font do you think we want to use? We want to use a nice bold, and Mary's all over it. Impact. Yes, everybody's all over it. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Christy, how are you? So we got wrestling here, and we got fonts. I'm going to go to my impact font. So we got impact font here. Let's enlarge this out now. Because we're just creating a heat transfer vinyl design right here, we don't necessarily have to worry about the sizing quite as much, okay? Because we can edit it because it's just going to be for our decal vinyl or our sign vinyl or our heat transfer vinyl. Okay, my next step, anybody want to walk me through it off the start here? There you go, Kate, Mary, all over it. We want to squeeze that text together, make it look a lot nicer. So I'm actually going to make it a little bit taller as well, and then tighten up the letters. So I'm going to go to the wizard and edit and text spacing. I can just drag this over and tighten up the spacing a little bit there. Now I can see my L and I are pretty close together, and I'm going to show you another feature. You can also move over individual. So if I want to move the WR closer to the E, I can highlight both of those boxes, hold Control, and see how I can move just the W and the R. So another quick little tip or trick there for you. So you can move any letter wherever you want once you're in this text spacing, okay? So those of you who have not used that before, it's a pretty cool feature to be able to do and edit like that. So now we're wrestling, and we want our dad designs. So I'm just going to go Control-C and Control-V. And what that's going to do is duplicate it. I could also, if I wanted to duplicate, just drag it down and right-click, and that's going to duplicate it as well. And then I'm just going to double-click on there and type out dad. And let's go ahead and enlarge the dad part of the design here. Let's get width here. And we're going to make it a decent size design here. Okay? So we got a decent size design here, and Mary, you're all over it. Mary, you were in our last webinar, I know. So wrestling dad design right here, okay? And let me know, what do you guys think as far as what looks better? Because technically, if you look, if I pull out a grid line here, technically I should have the D all the way over here and lined up with my W there. See what I'm saying? So do you like it better to where it's lined up with the W or lined up with the text there of the W? Lined up with the bottom of the W? Yeah? Okay. So let's do that. We're going to line it up with the bottom of the W there. You got it. So we got our wrestling dad design here. Now what we're going to do, now the features are always a little bit different. And this is, it'll get confusing to me as well sometimes because I just finished doing a webinar with the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition software, and all of the wording is a little bit different. And Mary, that's where you're going to see it. The wording's going to be a little bit different just because like convert to path and things like that. So I have my wrestling dad here. I'm going to click on both of those or highlight it all, whatever I want. And I can do it a couple different ways. I could come up here and if I just, now watch, if I click on combine, watch what's going to happen. It puts them both on the same path, okay? So before we combine it, we just come up here and do a convert to curves like Kate just told us. And now when I highlight and combine, now they're one object right there, okay? So I got wrestling dad now. Now we're going to go ahead and get our wrestler in here. Now remember, this is a design that we're going to make for the dad, so we're not going to add rhinestones to it. So I got, let's change it to a different color. I'll change that to an orange. Anybody know the easy way to go ahead and bring this to the front? How do I bring this to the front of my design here? Right click, there you go. And then I can go order to the front of page. So I could do that way. Or in the wizard, you can just hit to front or to back, to front. Quick little shortcut there in the wizard so you don't have to do those extra clicks with Corel Draw, okay? So just little features that I use a lot in the wizard that's going to save you from having to go right click and then order and then to front or to back or whatever it was, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and enlarge our wrestlers here. Get them to a decent size in the design right here. I want to make sure that obviously different areas aren't missing too much, like his foot in the D and the dad here and things like that. I would say we're arranged pretty nicely right here. I would say we're pretty good, right? Okay, now what we're going to do is instead of an offset in this one, Mary, we're going to actually do a island. So again, wording's just a little bit different in the different softwares. So I'm going to look, and I'm at 8.8 inches wide. For a dad design, I'm probably going to want to get out to around 10 inches or so. That's normally the size that I put on my shirts. So to grab the wrestler right here, I'm going to go one island to the outside at 0.06, and I'm going to hit island fill. Now you can see that's the white island that it created right there. If I move my orange, it's all white. If I move that, it's all text. Very easy from here. We're going to select that actual island that we just created. We're going to shift click on Wrestling Dad. So we only have those selected. Now this is where it gets a little backwards. So this is what I'm seeing a lot of people doing with this design, where on some it could look good, but on a lot of them, it makes it harder to read. And that's what I'm going to show you here. So if I did that and I came up here and did a trim and then got rid of this, this is what we would have. So this is what I'm seeing, especially on the Facebook page, a lot of people are doing, and they're forgetting the intersect part. So yeah, this looks pretty cool, but can't really tell if that's WB or WR. Yeah, we could figure it out. The whole S is missing in this design, so it makes it a little bit harder to read, don't all of you think? So I'm going to show you where I'm noticing a lot of us are missing the actual step. Okay, so let me make sure everything's good there. And I'm going to show you both of them just so you guys can visually see the difference of them. Okay, so I'm going to do the one that we just did, here, here, and trim that out, and we got that. And let's just make our wrestler whatever color we want. We'll make it a red, okay? And then this is the way that I like to do it so you can read the letters a lot nicer. I'm going to click on the orange, shift click onto my text there, and then I'm going to come up here and hit Intersect. Okay, now I can delete the orange. I'm done with that. Now I'm going to click on the white, shift click on my text here, and you can see what's hidden back behind there. And this time I'm going to trim it and get rid of that. And now we'll turn that to a red. Okay, so you can easily still tell that both of them are a wrestling design, but see how much easier it is to read the one on the right here? What do you think? Which one do you prefer, the one on the left or the one on the right? The right? Yep, that's what I thought. And there are specific designs where maybe the wrestlers aren't as large or they don't take up like the full letters, and it could look good doing it this way. But my preference is the one on the right, because see how easy it is to read the R, to read the S, and everything else. Okay? Can you do it if your image goes outside the font? Yes, you definitely can, Brandy. So let me go back. Everybody's asking to see the steps involved with that again, and I'll definitely show them to you here, and then we'll get into the Rhinestone version as well. And I'm going to actually try something new here as well. I like trying new things here. So let me show you the steps to do that again. So again, we have orange, we have white, and we have black. 3 layers, right? So Control Z to go back. Click on my orange, shift click on my text. So orange, shift click on text. You can see I have just my orange and my text, and I'm going to hit Intersect. Now you can see when I move everything now, I still have my orange, I still have my white, I still have my text, but I also have my Intersect back behind there. You can't see it, but it's back there. So that means I'm done with my orange. Now white, shift click on the text, and this time I'm going to hit Trim. Intersect is up here at the top. You can also go to Object, Shaping, and Intersect. And then I'm going to trim, get rid of this white, and now I have that back behind there. Okay? Yes, this is definitely being recorded. Yeah, Jasmine, we're going to record it, and you'll be able to, we'll post this. We'll actually post this one to the YouTube channel as well. Okay? All right, so now let me try one thing. I just want to try this to be different and to be difficult. So I'm going to grab, this wasn't part of it, so it might take me a couple different steps to do this. This wasn't in the plans, but we had a question as far as going outside the entire design, but I also want to do something else with this. So I'm going to go to Wrestling here, and let's go to Place and Fill. And I'm just talking to myself as I'm doing this. Outside at 0.06. Let's do an island fill on that, and let's just turn that to a pink. And can you make the Wrestling Dad a 2-layer design? We had a question. Yeah, that is a 2-layer design right there. It's already ready to cut as 2 layers. So now I have an outline here, and then if I wanted to, let me see. Let's change this to a pink there. And I'm going to go orange, shift click to black, and intersect. And then let's see if we got rid of that. This, shift click to black, and oh, I don't want to do that. I want to trim there. And let's go ahead and send this. Boom, to there, and trim. I'm going to kind of go through this as I'm with you guys, just to see if I can make this work. So if I got rid of that, and then send this to the back. Okay, yeah, this is definitely going to be possible. Okay, so we'll be able to do that. What I'll do is I'll create a YouTube video on this as well that's going to show you, because I could easily do it, But what I also want to do is I want to create it so the outline stays on top and stays on the bottom here outside the text. So yeah, that's definitely something that we'll be able to do, and I know exactly how we'll be able to do it now. Okay, perfect. So I don't want to hold up everybody too long as far as getting into that part, but I want to create the rhinestone design as well. But yes, definitely possible to do, and I will create a video for it. So let's go ahead, and we have our wrestling dad design. Obviously, we all selected the one to the right here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to create a wrestling mom design, but with the wrestling mom design, I'm actually going to add rhinestones to it, okay? So does anybody know how we would actually add the stones to it? What kind of different steps we would do when we're adding stones to the design? Let me grab our wrestlers here. Okay, Kate's all over it. Kate said to add a 0.075, which is definitely part of what we're going to do. And I'm going to show all of you how to do that now. So I'm going to create one with the wrestler and go through it. And then once we create our karate guy here, I want you guys to actually walk me through it, okay? So we're going to do wrestling mom. So let's go ahead, W-R-E-S-T-L-I-N-G. And we're going to go, what type of font are we going to use here? You got it, impact font. Let's increase. Now, this is where sizing is going to be an issue. So this is where we need to pay attention to that stuff. So text spacing, tighten that up there for us. So that's looking good there. And duplicate that, come down and type out mom real quick. Enlarge that. And what we're going to do, again, text spacing, tighten that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get our width. Same thing, we'll go to the W right there, and then we'll go to the end of the G. Bring it down a tiny bit there, and then we're good to go. Okay? So if I were to do this, how did you duplicate so quickly? Chris, I just drag. I'm holding my left click and then right click, and it duplicates it. So you can just do a quick duplicate of it. So as you're holding your left click, you're going to right click on your mouse as well. So we got a wrestling mom design here, and now we're going to remember what we had to do first. Highlight it all in what? You got it. Convert it to curves. So that's converted to curves, and then we're going to come over here and combine them together. So now it's one object. Now we need to pay attention to the sizing. And the reason why, does anybody know why we can't just create this at 4 inches and then add the stones? Exactly. Stephanie's got it, rhinestones. So since it's going to be a rhinestone design and we're going to use SS10 stones, we need to make sure that the heat transfer vinyl part of it is the exact size we want as well, because that's what we're going to need to cut out so the stones fit into that area perfectly. Because those SS10 stones are always going to be the same size. They aren't going to change just because you change the size of your heat transfer vinyl, okay? So we got a wrestling mom, and let's go ahead and knock this out. So I'm going to bring this to the front. Remember, a quick little to front right there. Shrink down our wrestler a little bit. And the cool thing about doing the rhinestone version of it is we kind of get a mix between showing the letters like we did here where it knocks them out, and the other, because we keep the other for the rhinestones going all the way around. And I'll show you what I mean here when I'm doing that. So we have our wrestler here. I would say it's going to look pretty good at this area right here. Feet are good, and the rhinestones are going to show it up nice as well. So highlight my design again just to make sure I'm 9.8 inches wide. That's pretty good size right there. I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating my islands. So I'm going to go to place and fill, and island to the outside. You got it. Diane and Thomas are all over it. So I'm going to go, anybody know the distance for the contour spacing on my island? You got it. Outside at 0.075. And I'm going to do an island fill of that. And then I'm going to do a island fill of that. So I just clicked on island fill 2 times. All right. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to have a little bit of an issue in some different areas here. And that's what I want to show you with the software, how you can edit some different things. Okay. The reason why I chose 0.075 and is basically an SS10 stone is 0.13 inches. But we want to have a little bit of room on each side, so we did 0.075 for half of the space, and we're going to add the stones right to this path, and then we're going to trim out this so the rhinestones fit into this entire area right here perfect. Does that make sense? Yes, Becca, you could do that as well. We just click island twice, but you could do 2 islands as well. So let's go ahead and get this done. So what I want to do first is I'm going to click on my outside island and then shift click on my text. Now that would trim it out. So if I did that before, that's going to give us the other look where we have the full wrestlers. Okay, so first thing we need to do, click on the wrestlers, shift click on the text, and then we're going to go intersect. So we know the red is done. We can get rid of the red. Let's move the red over here. Now the white right here, instead of us actually trimming the outside of this white right here, we're going to add stones to that, but first we want to trim the furthest outside island. So I clicked on that, shift click on the text. I have both of those, and I'm going to trim, and then I can get rid of that outside island. So you can see back behind there is my intersect still. Now on this one right here, I'm just going to go a 0.02 spacing. I'm going to do add stones to path. And when I add stones to the path, I'm going to get that. And then I'm going to come up and clear my paths. And there we go. So see how it's still going to keep the look of the wrestling mom, but it's going to drop those stones in there perfect for us. Now this is where you're going to have a little bit of editing because of the size of this design. So any little spots like this right here, you might have a couple overlaps. An easy way to mark those different overlaps is you could just highlight the design here and then mark top layer overlaps. Okay, so what that did is it marked all the overlaps red. Just so we can see them better, I'm going to change the other colors to blue. Yes, I just added the stones to the path, Diane. So now we can see where our overlaps are. So there's going to be some right here that we'll just want to delete and get rid of. And then like that area right there where it's the arm coming down, we'll probably just want to delete that area right there. Now we could split the difference. I would probably say we're better off not splitting the difference. We can move that there. Again, you don't need to really worry about changing the color of it. We can go delete here, and we could probably, if we wanted to, add another one right into that area. That's just inside where the arm is right there. Here we have some slight overlaps. Different things we could do with this. We could move them all like this, or we could shift click on these different ones right here if we want. So I held shift and clicking on different ones, and I hit my magic respace, and that respaces them all perfect for me. So it makes that part easy, obviously. And then the reds right here, we can delete a couple of those. But the cool thing is, I'm just clicking the delete button to delete each of them. So I'm just hitting delete. But the cool thing is once we get to, like, say, for example, we're in this area right here, and I want to even some of these out, I can shift click on these right here if I wanted to, and just hit magic respace, and that's gonna, I can even take one away if I want, if I thought that spacing was a little bit too tight, and then clear your path back behind it. So a lot of different features and things you can do depending on now what you want to do. And you can leave those lines there as you're working on different things, because like for example here, another option you have is you could have clicked off the very beginning, you could have clicked on your corner detect. Well, corner detect would have made it so, like for example, in this area right here, it would have made sure that there was no overlaps right there. It would have put one right there and then spaced outward from there. So a lot of different little things, whether you use the corner detect, you don't use the corner detect. Right here, again, remember our magic respace. So if I shift click on these right here, and then I just hit my magic respace, that hits those perfect for me, and then clear your paths. So the magic respace feature is a feature that you guys are going to use a lot, especially once you get used to it and know what it actually does. Now you can see I'm leaving a lot of these red, and the reason why I'm leaving them red is I know that I can just do this. I can click, select same color as far as the reds, and then just change them all to blue at the same time. Okay? And then I did forget one little spot there with my clear pass, so I can just clear that real quick. So you can see how our design's kind of coming out here. Now, if we wanted to see what this wrestling mom design actually looked like on a shirt or whatever it is, we can still do that as well. So let's go ahead and, what colors do we want to see what this looks like? Someone give me some different colors. We got a red, okay, we can do red and black, red and gold would look pretty sweet. Let's do red and gold. So we'll do like a dark red here and a kind of goldish color here. We can click here, select same color, make those crystal on the inside. And obviously we're using rhinestones. Let's use glitter. So let's go magic vinyl and we'll do a red glitter and we'll do a gold glitter. Okay? And then for gold rhinestones, we would use light topaz, but we actually used the crystal stones here. So and let's actually reverse it. Let's do red glitter here and gold on the outside. We can put it on a dark shirt. It'll look sweet. So there we go there. Let's go to our mock-ups, our front design with the TRW logo, and we're going to simulate stones onto whatever you want, a tank top or any different types of design. So I got my extra designs off here to the side. Those aren't going to matter right now. And then let's change our background color of this to, let's say, a gray. Change our shirt color to a black. And there you go. All stones simulated with your glitters and everything ready to go on that shirt. So again, very easy to do something like this, to add the stones. And then once you have this template cut, that's the cool thing, is once the template's made and it's cut, obviously you just highlight it. And let me show you the color of the stones real quick so you can see that they're there and what they look like. Highlight this design, go to templates, and once we create our magic templates, there's your 3 cuts right there. Okay? So you have your stone design for your sticky flock. This right here is your gold glitter, and this right here is your red glitter. Obviously, what do we need to do before we cut the heat transfer vinyl part of the design? Reverse it, mirror it. Perfect. All of you are all over that. Very good. Okay? So very easy to do with the stones. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go File and Save As. And I'm going to save this to our desktop here. And we just want to save this so we can get you these files after the webinar here. So this is the Wrestling Mom Free Design. And I got that saved there. Okay, perfect. So we got the Wrestling Mom Free Design saved there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. For any questions real quick between the Wrestling Mom design and the Wrestling Dad design? Cool thing with the Wrestling Dad design, what I like to use, especially on the black shirt, if you go to the Magic Vinyl and the electrics, I like to use the silver lens that looks like this. Awesome looking heat transfer vinyl that I use all the time. Hover over the mouse for your toolbar for the Intersect button, Debbie. Yeah, of course. The Intersect button is right here. Now, any of you out there right now, quick, that do not have the Intersect button in your toolbar? Is there anybody? It should be on the 2.11, Debbie. But if you know what? It may not be. It may not be. Let me show you how to grab it real quick because I added it. I added that extra. You're just going to go to Tools, Customization. You're going to go to Commands. We're going to go to the Search, and we're going to search Intersect and hit Find. that's going to find, you'll see intersect target, then intersect. I'm going to click on intersect and drag it out and let go and hit OK. And then all you do is you just drag it up into your toolbar and drop it in there. Okay? So that's how you can add any custom features to your toolbar using those steps right there. So again, just tools, customization, commands, use the binoculars, type in, let's just say you wanted a freehand pick tool. You could type in freehand and find next. There's the freehand tool. You can drag that out, hit OK, and then you can drop it anywhere in your workspace or toolbars that you want. So pretty cool feature with Corel Draw to be able to do stuff like that. Okay, so Wrestling Mom, Wrestling Dad designs. We're good. We're all good with that. Oh, I'm waiting, Debbie. What do you got? Okay, we all good? Perfect, perfect. So, yep, we had two more that asked real quick. Tools, customization, it has to be under commands. And then under commands, you're going to search Intersect, and then you hit find next. And you'll see intersect target and then intersect. And then there you go. So pressing order, that's a great question. What colors will we press? So what colors will we press here with this design? Anyone? Yes, you got it. So our pressing order for this design right here is going to be gold, then it's going to go to our red, and then last is our actual stones, okay? So gold, red, and then stones. And the reason why is if you press your stones first, this heat transfer vinyl is very close together next to each other. So you're going to have an issue when you go to press your heat transfer vinyl part of the design after, because you're not going to get your full-time temperature and pressure on your heat transfer vinyl right next to the stones because they're raised up. The other issue you have is if, for example, you pressed the red first and you went and pressed that on the shirt, and let's just say you thought it was straight. Oh, let me go back here. Let's just say you thought you pressed it straight and it was like this right here. Looks somewhat straight when you're doing it on the shirt. When you go to press the gold, it has to line up perfect. So you're going to look at that and you're going to be like, oh no, what did I do? Then you're going to have to rotate the gold to actually fit in there. And then obviously your design is going to look like that on the shirt. Okay, so make sure, always press the biggest and the outside part of your design first, then the inside, then the rhinestones last. Got it? And just to let you know, I always like to show you different tips and tricks of different things you could use at different times. This is a template right here that, hey, it's pretty easily to tell that that's wrestlers, right? Well, you can use this with any different design right now if you want. So if you just wanted a completely different design, just where you added some rhinestone text around it or something, you can easily do that now that you have that template created. So again, think outside the box, think of different ways to be able to do things like that. Okay, so let's create one more design before we get to our Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. And we have a ton of questions coming through. I know Rudy and Daniel are answering them as well. But if we've missed any questions, go ahead and post it again. And we will definitely try to make sure that we answer every question that comes through, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and delete those. And we don't need our wrestler here. And now we're going to go with karate. So for the karate guy here, do we want to do a karate mom? Do we want to do, does anybody have like a different saying that they want? What do you think? Little karate kid, my karate kid, karate master. Nice try, Kate. kick arse. Hey, Barb, I said that right before you posted it, too. So, what do we want? We'll stay PG, of course. We don't have the female. We have a female version on the website. I just have the guy here to work with now. Do you guys want to just stick with a karate mom design? Is that going to be the easiest? Karate mom it is. Okay. Or kick arse. All right, let's go karate mom here. So, to do the karate mom, I want you guys to teach me how to do it, okay? So, if you guys can teach me how to do it, then we'll run through the entire design here. So, first thing I'm going to do is my text, right? So, I'm going to click, obviously, we know that I'm going to click on the main area and type out karate. And then, where's my next step? Type out mom. So let's go ahead and, yep, you got it. Switch it to our impact font first. So I'm going to go fonts and let's switch it to impact. That way, if we typed out mom after that, then we would have to switch that as well. So we got karate here, and my next step is tighten up the lettering. Perfect. Perfect. So let's go to edit, text spacing, and tighten up that lettering a little bit. So see my K and my A are overlapping a little bit there. And I'll show you. You can actually do that with Corel, and that actually makes it look pretty good. Yep, duplicate it and type mom all over it. Got mom there. Tighten up my spacing with mom, definitely. So let's go text spacing on my mom and tighten that up. And let's enlarge my mom a little bit. My mom wouldn't like it if I told her I was enlarging her. And let's go ahead and size that up, right? Like you're saying there. Now, a couple different things here. So, and I'm going to show you the difference. If I go here and I convert to curves, right, like we normally do, and all of you are right that's saying that right now, convert to curves and then combine, right? So it all looks fine and dandy. But if I go behind the scenes, see that? Remember where I said that K and that A are overlapping a little bit? That's what's going to happen if you do that. So you just have to pay attention to your text before you get too far into it, because you aren't going to like that when you weed it out. So the difference, I would go here and I would just come over here and weld. There, Connie, you're all over it. Brandy's all over it. Diane's all over it. Perfect. So I just welded karate. And now you can see when I go behind the scenes, now it's welded together. So now it's going to be a whole lot nicer looking and better when I weed it. And I mean, technically you can do the same thing here. So with my mom, I'm going to convert my mom to curves, highlight them both, and combine. And then you'll see the difference between these two when I go behind the scenes. That one right there is welded together. And this one right here is not, so you're going to get that weird cut in it, okay? Remember, your cutter's only looking at these cut lines. So let's get rid of that one, and we're ready to go with this karate mom design. Now, next step from here, what do we got? I forgot what I do next. So we got everything. We're welded all together. Place our image in. Correct. Let's change the color of it just so we can see. Is that good for my image right there? What do we want to do with my image? Perfect. Let's bring it to the front. So our image is now to the front. And the nice thing about this, and the reason why I like doing it this way, where you guys are kind of walking me through it, is it's kind of repetitive. You're typing all of these out to me, so it's obviously training you to remember how to do everything. So I got my karate mom. What does everybody think? Does that look pretty good right there? Okay, next step from there is what? So we got our mascot at the front. We want to create an offset. Yep. And we're going to do we want to do stones or no stones? Of course, if it's a mom design, we'll give them the option for stones. So click on my design, and what's my place and fill? We still had it at 0.075. So I'm going to go island fill there. And then I'm just going to hit island fill again for the second 0.075, 2 times. Perfect, Connie. And now next step, check your overall size. Thank you. See that? I was going to create this entire design, and Arthur saved the day. So we're only at 7.4 inches. And I know somebody said that earlier as far as check the size right off the very start, but I wanted to see if we caught it again once I got to this point. So again, I always double check it. So we were at 7.4. That was going to be way too small for a shirt. So now I'm out to 9.7. And my next step from here is, uh-oh, are we stuck? What do we got here? Click on orange and shift click to the black text and intersect all over it. Orange, shift click to the black text right there. And up top, intersect. Remove the orange. Yes, perfect. And then Diane said, you guys type too fast. Okay, the next thing is click the outside layer and trim the black. Perfect. So outside layer, shift click to the black, and we're going to trim it. And then we can get rid of our outside layer. Perfect. Next, add stones to path. Exactly. So I'm going to click on that path right there. And I'm going to do 2 different versions of it just so we can see which one looks better. I'm going to go here and add stones to path. And then we're going to clear our paths. And then I'm going to come over. And see that right there? What that is, and I'll show you. That's the inside of our karate guy right there. Those little pieces in his arm. So we would actually fix that. And I'm going to show you how. This one, we're going to try something different and do a corner detect. And go ahead and do add stones to the path. And let's just see which one ends up looking better here. So let's go ahead and clear our paths out of the way. And let's see if we see a difference. Which one do you guys think looks better? Stephanie, yes, we are already working on something like that for a future upgrade. As far as being able to change the design stones move. Yes, everybody's saying the left. I say left as well, just in case you can't see. We have an overlap there. We have an overlap there. We have an overlap there, there. When I come over to this one, no overlap on that corner, none on that corner, none on that corner, none on that corner. So I would say we're looking a lot nicer on the left one here. It's going to give us less editing. Click on all of them. Anytime you do a mark corner detect, all the corners are going to have 2 stones. So just highlight them all real quick, and we can do a merge overlaps, and that gets rid of all those overlaps. And now we can come in and see where our quick little cleanups could be. So I would say right there we need one. I would say probably right here we need a stone. And that honestly looks like is. Everything look good? What do you think? Oh, it looks like one color. Oh, no worries. It's just because I hadn't changed the color of it yet. Sorry, Cindy. Okay, so now, remember these little areas right here? I'm going to double click, and I'm just going to delete these nodes. So you can't really, we couldn't even really tell what they were there, and you can still easily tell that it's a karate guy here. So I'm just going to delete those little areas. This is the A coming up, so we'll keep that. And that's looking good there. This, again, is just a little part of his hand. So let's delete that, have that go down clean there. And I would probably do the same thing here. And I'm actually almost just redrawing this A a little bit just by moving my paths. And there we go. So does everybody see how I did that? So again, very easy, but that's something that's going to save you a lot of time when it comes to editing. So watch, I'm going to go back. A couple of you had questions as far as how I did that part. So see like these little cut areas in here? And there was one more. See these little areas? In our karate guy, that's actually part where his arm, kind of armpit meets there, but you can't really see it. You can't really tell what it is. To me, it more looks like there's something wrong with the A and there's something wrong with the M. Do you agree? So what I do is I double click on the blue. That pulls up all of my nodes, and then I'm just deleting those nodes. And then over here, I'm just deleting all 4 of those nodes. You see how they highlight? Deleted those. Now these, I have to do a little bit more work, because if I just delete those nodes, it's still rounded. So I actually grab this node, hold Shift so it draws straight, and I just drag it over to where it's about a straight line there. And then we're going to grab this handle and match it up, this handle and match it up, and now we're good to go. So now it's nice and smooth coming down there. So perfect, very easy to do, but those little adjustments right there are that's what's going to make your design look different, look like you spent some time on it, and look very nice when you get it to your customer, instead of just 2 random areas in there that are going to miss, and it looks like it was just something that you screwed up. Okay? All right, perfect. So I'm going to save this one as well for you, and we'll go ahead and get this one. What we'll probably do is we'll probably just upload these to the actual website for you to make it easy for you to get them, okay? So to make it simple. But does everybody, at least now with the Wizard and Corel Draw, get the concept of how, and we are recording this, so you're going to get the recorded version of this as well to go through step by step. But at least a couple different things in the webinar today that helped you, that are going to help you create designs like this. And again, these are all things that we want you to be able to do. So we want you to be able to create this, whether it's a swimmer or a soccer player or baseball player or a music note or whatever it is. We want you to be able to create these in the software, and we want you to know how to use the software, okay? So obviously the better you are with the software, the more you can actually create it on your own, then the more successful obviously your business is going to be as well, because it's going to be less expense for you. If you guys have any questions anytime, make sure to give us a call. Number is 941-755-1696. This is Matt, Daniel, and Rudy with the rhinestoneworld.com, and you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.